Hi, I'm Sue.
And I'm Mel, and this is Manifesting with Mel and Sue. We are going to be talking about appearance change.
Yes.
So, can you change your appearance just by affirming and manifesting?
Oh, if you go back to our What is Possible video, then the answer is yes, because everything is possible. In fact, any appearance change is possible if you think about it, if you have faith and you persist in it. So why don't we talk about our experiences with appearance changes?
Yes. Okay, so I think a story that I have is it wasn't so much of a change as much as I decided my height when I was a kid. I literally remember getting off the bus, and at the end of my mom had picked us up at the end of the driveway, and we had a really long driveway. And I remember it was like a nice, warm, sunny day. It was kind of probably the end of the school year, and she was talking to our next door neighbor's mom. And I remember them talking. I don't know why they were talking about height. I wasn't part of the conversation, but she always said that she thought 5'4" was a good height. And I was like, oh, I'm going to decide to stop growing at 5'4". And I never thought of it again. And guess how tall I am right now?
I'm going to guess 5'4".
I'm 5'4". So I manifested my height. So yeah, that was my story so not necessarily a change, but more of like, everybody in my family is tall, so I should have been tall. Right. I'm literally the only person, even like the women, 5'8", 5'10". Men were like upwards of 6 feet tall, some were 6'4". So I was the only person in my family on both sides 5'4".
You just stopped growing at 5'4" because you decided that a long time ago.
I did.
I love that.
And what's your story? Do you have any?
Yeah, so I've talked before about weight loss and my scale trick, how I just laughed at the scale when it was wrong, and told it the right number, and then it was right, and so it was a good scale. So things like that you can do. I think that, like we said with the money box, if you're having fun with it, then it makes it a lot easier. One of my affirmations was, because I like to exaggerate, I would say that I am the most beautiful woman in the world. And when I first started saying this, one day, and nobody, in my entire life, people rarely called me beautiful until I started calling myself that. But one day I was working at the pool, and I had been affirming that I was the most beautiful woman in the world. And one of the customers came in, and she was looking at me, and she's like, you have the most beautiful hair. And it struck me because nobody had ever said most beautiful about anything about me before. And so I was like, thank you. But it also was like, okay, so that's a little evidence that my subconscious is impressed with the, phrase most beautiful. So that's one example. I also say that I look younger and more beautiful every day. I have a lot of physical appearance affirmations.
Well, I actually remember, I think it was early summer, and you had told me that you were changing one of your facial features. And of course, I was like, oh yeah, of course you did. And I actually noticed it because in my reality, I was like, oh yeah, you definitely did it because you can manifest anything you want.
Yeah.
And I did notice it, and you were like, really? And I can remember.
What was it?
I think it was your nose.
Oh.
Remember?
No.
Yeah, you were trying to change your nose, and I remember I was like, wow, and you were like, oh yeah, no, it's so cute. So yeah, and didn't you change your hair too?
So one of the things, actually, we were going to talk about this in our upcoming techniques video, part 2, is vision boards. Well, when I first got into manifesting, I use Pinterest, and I started pinning pictures of women whose features I liked that I wanted to emulate. And so one of the pictures is a woman with this long wavy blonde hair. And at the time, my hair was shorter and straight. I straightened it a lot. But my hair was always fairly straight until I stopped straightening it and started embracing my natural waves, and now they're much wavier and longer and blonder than it used to be. So it's very much, I could show you the picture later, but I think it's a lot more similar to the picture. And also, thank you. Also, my body looks a lot more like the bodies in the pictures that I pinned too, which is fun. It's fun to look at it and be like, oh yeah, I do look a lot more like that now.
That's awesome. Yeah, I did the same thing. I actually do have on my phone. I have a in my gallery on my pictures. I put things that I want. That's my vision board, and then I have one on Pinterest. And I did the same thing, and I started affirming. I created a blanket affirmation. So I picked a body type that I liked and wanted. And I started saying, oh, that's my perfect body. Oh, I love that. That's my perfect body. And so now, every once in a while, I think about it, and I started actually noticing my body changing to look like the picture. And so it's like, it's really cool to kind of watch the process.
Yes.
I sometimes like it when it happens in stages, because you see the progress instead of just like, wait. I mean, it's cool to wake up and be like, hey, look, I already have it.
Yeah.
But it's fun to see the progressions too. So that was really cool. And it was very exciting because you're like, oh my gosh, it's working.
Yes. This may be a little TMI, but I've been manifesting larger upper half. And it's fun to see like that get bigger and change. And like,
I did that already. I was always very small. I wore like a B cup, and I was like, no, I want bigger boobs. I want to have bigger boobs. And now I'm a double D.
Awesome. Yeah, it's fun.
It is.
And so if you have fun with it and you just decide what you want to look like, then you can do it. And
exactly.
Some things you may have more resistance to. So I think with something like the Pinterest board is it's a great technique for this, because you're not going to, if you're not looking at it every day, you're not constantly checking the mirror for results, then you can kind of let go and let things happen.
There's no contradiction.
I didn't actively try to look like my pictures. It just happened naturally over time.
Well, yes, because you decided this is what I want, and you let it go, and you weren't thinking about it. It wasn't constantly in a state of lack of, oh, I don't have it yet, or, you're not. And that was the same thing for me. That was always how I got my results, was when I wasn't so focused on it, and I just would and actually it's funny because I think I just told you, like, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, that when I affirm and I'll just offhandedly affirm something and then I don't think about it again, it'll happen very quickly.
That's awesome.
It is. I love that.
All right, any other appearance change stories that you want to
think? No, I probably have done.
I think we should address subliminals. I know we've done a whole video on subliminals already, but subliminals are very commonly used for physical appearance changes. I listen to a ton of subliminals, and some of them are appearance focused. So that's another thing that you can do, where it's just like you don't have to actively manifest. You can just listen to subliminals. And again, as we said before in our subliminals videos, you always want to check the source, check the affirmations that are in it, make sure you're using a trusted subliminal maker. You can trust all the subliminals that are on my subs channel, which I will link to
all the time. FYI.
I will link to in the show notes. Actually, I only have one on appearance, and that's for weight loss. I don't do a lot of appearance ones because I've been more focused on self-concept. But if anybody has some requests, I'm happy to do that in the future.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, subliminals are great for appearance changes.
So when do you listen to your subliminals? So I know we've touched on this in previous videos.
Yeah, so I will listen to something at bedtime now, because I feel like that's the best time to impress the subconscious. And I also listen to them first thing in the morning. So like when I start my day, when I leave the house for work, I will play a booster. I'm going to link a booster in the description as well for the mother of all boosters, the Moab booster. This is a 40-minute long subliminal booster that is layered with like 9,000 affirmations, and there are a ton of people getting results from this booster.
I actually got, like, I think the first 2 times that I listened to it, I got results instantly, and I was just like floored.
That's
and I
awesome.
I was like, oh my God, this is like magic.
Yes. So I will link to that. It's not mine. I didn't make it, but it's been very effective for a lot of people. So I just want to give credit to a Redditor named It's a Kid who created, he spent 9 months working on this booster, and a lot of people are getting a lot of good results. So I will link to that and along with my sub channel. So yeah, if you have any questions or thoughts on manifesting appearance changes, just drop them in the comments below. And also like, share, and subscribe.
Don't forget, go out and manifest that dream life.